Florida State loses yesterday to Georgia Tech 21-24, but how did DJ Uiagalelei do in his first start for the Noles? Because that's going to be a major talking point for a lot of folks today as well. DJ I don't know if he's the guy. I don't know if this, that, and the other. I'm not telling you that he's not the guy. I'm not telling you that he is the guy. I'm just saying, how should we grade him out after one data point? Because as much as we want to talk about what yesterday was, and it's a gut-wrenching loss, and it hurts in a lot of ways, and DJ left something to be desired, still one data point. So we'll grade him out. We'll give you our thoughts right now. First things first, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. Florida State fans, I'm just going to say this. I think it's too early to pack it in. Make sure you're subscribed right here. Also, let me know on social media at JD Piquel, Instagram and Twitter, how y'all feel about what happened yesterday and your outlook going forward. All right? So, anytime you are the quarterback at a major brand in the sport, like Florida State, like this helmet, all that logo, it speaks for itself, okay? Like, people recognize what that is when they see it. You don't have to have a whole lot of explanation. Anytime you play quarterback for one of those schools, you're going to get a lot of blame whenever things don't go right, especially when you're a top 10 team in America to start the year. You're going to get some blame. And some of that is fair. You look at what DJ did yesterday. He needed to push the ball downfield more. He needed to connect on some of those shots downfield that they didn't connect on. The shot to Ja'Kai Douglas, the crossing pattern is the one that sticks out in my mind, where could Ja'Kai Douglas have held on to that? Maybe so. If you put it on the numbers, is it a touchdown? Also, probably so. So, with that being said, as much as there's something left to be desired from DJ what did he do in the game? 19 for 27, 193 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. 70% completion percentage. So for those of y'all that have watched this show for any length of time and kind of know what the rhythm of this channel, after the game's on Saturday, we get in here on Sunday and we just do a ton of content. We call it the Sunday Sprint, all right? We're in here early. We're giving you all our thoughts and our takes so you have them as soon as possible, as soon as the action ends. And I walked by my desk on the way to, prep some more for these segments, and I have written out on one of the old notes from last week, said, don't expect DJ to have a crazy day. Statistically speaking. Y'all, I don't think we should be all that surprised by what DJ did yesterday. And punchline culture, and it's having a field day right now. Check Twitter. They're getting their shots in. Like, that's cool. It is what it is. And some of that, again, some of that is warranted. Some of that is warranted. But people are throwing the halftime graphic around with DJU's passing yards through the air, or like attempts through the air, whatever it was, where he has like a negative number in that category, and you're like, okay, dude, like it's week 0 and it's a halftime stat. Like if that is really like your end all be all that you just want to stand on, like, more power to you, brother. We probably can't have a real conversation anyway. We were told, and we also told everybody that would listen, DJ is going to be a complementary part of the equation for Florida State football. What are the other parts of the equation? Run the football, play good defense, control the game, and when you have a chance to take some shots deep, hit them. Again, DJ did not hit on those deep shots. But we're also saying, like, his job is going to be take care of the football, no interceptions, be efficient. 19 for 27, again, 70% completion percentage. If DJ is 70% the rest of the year, Florida State's going to win a lot of football games. But again, the equation did not shake out how it was supposed to, very clearly for Florida State. You ran for less than 100 yards, right around 3 yards a carry. That wasn't what we signed up for. It was supposed to be pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, and then they have to add in some extra attention to that box, and then DJ maybe has a little bit more of some space to work with downfield. I'm not excusing DJ I'm just saying the context here, as with anything, is crucial. What was the other part of the equation? Play good defense. Allowed darn near 200 yards on the ground. That's not part of the equation. Because anytime there's strain on other parts of the equation, anytime you lose some ground in other categories, you have to ask more of someone else in other categories. So in this situation, you probably should have asked more of DJ earlier, and DJ should have delivered more. But let's not get in this discussion now of like, well, DJ can he put him on his back? It was never about DJ putting anyone on his back. That was never the expectation when he got to Tallahassee. The expectation was for him to be a part of this machine. And other parts of the machine yesterday did not work properly. So as much as you can and maybe want to blame DJU, I would make sure there's a certain amount of attention given to the other parts of this football team, because that's not just an issue with number 4 from yesterday. I promise you, that is not the issue. It's a part of the issue, but it is not the end-all, be-all. Going forward, you're going to need more from DJU. It's pretty straightforward, especially if this is now the revised equation. If it's going to be a thing where you're not having that dominant ground presence that maybe you would have liked to have. Totally true. I do think it's worth maybe taking some encouragement from what they did that last drive where they tied it up. Because there were some big moments there. I believe it was 4th and 7. Analytics said go for it. DJU makes a nice throw over the middle. Like, you're probably going to need a lot more of that, but I think you saw some of that. I think you saw some of that being, under the hood for this offense. Now they have to build on it. They have to probably bring some more of that. But again, I think it's at least on the table. Now, here's what I would say too. If Florida State finds a way to win that football game, like, let's rewind it back a little bit. They go for that kick. Does Georgia Tech? Let's say it's wide left. You play for overtime. Let's say the Florida State defense gets a stop. Ball goes back to Florida State. They run it 3 times, kick a field goal, and you win the game 24-21. Now, DJU's stat line is probably pretty similar with that hypothetical I just laid out. But the win goggles around DJU would be drastically different. Because that's what we said going into this game. We said you're going to assess DJU based on wins and losses. That's what it's going to be. Unless he just has some jarring stat line where he just looks inept as a quarterback, and yesterday was not that day, you're going to assess him by, okay, does he allow this team to win the ACC? Does he allow this team to win football games? If they had won the football game yesterday, you're probably still like, man, offense has got to get it together. They're still trying to gel. We'll see what it looks like going forward. But you don't have this sky is falling mentality that a lot of folks on social media are having right now around the Florida State offense and around DJU. Again, you're the quarterback. You're going to and probably deserve a fair share of the blame. But if you're telling me that DJU is going to be a complementary part of the offense, and then we have this different conversation the day after about what he didn't do and how he didn't change the game for you, like, okay, well then we're not aligned here on our expectations. Expectations, we always say this, expectations determine happiness. You can't change the expectations halfway through on what you told me about your quarterback. Talk about the run game, talk about the offensive line, talk about the defensive line. That was supposed to be the best in America and did not show it yesterday. Still could be, but didn't show it yesterday. Just making sure we have to calibrate the conversation properly on DJU. So for me, all things considered, given our expectations for DJU, given what I believe he was asked to do yesterday, I give DJU a B. Not a B minus, not a B plus, just a B. It's not a horrible start. It's a horrible start to go 0-1, but again, I think that those issues are across the board probably more evenly divided. And again, no interceptions, 70% completion percentage. You'll win some games that way. Like it or not, it might be a different aesthetic. You'll win some games that way. But need more from everyone else and need more from DJU. So we have him as a B for this week. But let me know what you would give DJU based on yesterday's performance. And again, based on your expectations and what they asked him to do. No wrong answers. Just want your opinion, want your grade for the Signal Caller. Again, let me know on Twitter and Instagram at JDPikel. Be sure to follow me there. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.